Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm Junta Hinogu, and I'm a guy who loves music. Sure, I made that blatantly obvious in my last video how I mentioned that I loved singing music in August, and the other being where I was aspiring to become a voice actor. One thing I didn't mention much of, if at all, is my affinity for musical instruments. And when I say I can play 5 instruments, I am not kidding when I say I can play 5 instruments. Was that redundant? Of course, keep in mind by play, I mean I can make a proper noise come out of an instrument, instead of something that sounds like excessive flatulence. Is that a good way to describe it? I definitely love instruments, and I have a very high respect for anyone who can actually play an instrument. Though, in all honesty, learning to master an instrument is actually pretty difficult. In all honesty, learning to master an instrument takes a lot of dedication, and I would say that it takes probably a lot more dedication than singing or basketball playing. And of course, I'm not saying that basketball or singing are easy. They both have their own challenges. I'm just saying that instruments have a needlessly large amount of requirements in order to get good with them. And one of these criteria is actually having the physical instrument. But this is kind of where the problem comes in. You don't exactly know if you want the instrument or you actually want to play the instrument until you actually have the instrument. And depending on the instrument that you have, it can be extremely pricey to have an instrument. I'm looking at you, concert harp. I can't hold a serious face or death glare for too long, apparently. It just makes me giggle. Another criteria to mastering an instrument is being able to understand music, so that becomes a secondary thing that you have to learn, whether beforehand, before you learn the instrument, or while you're learning the instrument. I kind of speak from experience when I say that it's very difficult to do the latter of the two, because while I was learning to sing, I also had to do well and learn a lot of musical things that I didn't know beforehand. So I went from knowing next to nothing about music to having to be able to start a song a cappella with no proper reference for actually singing. And I'm saying that because what happened was the note that they gave me was the wrong note, so I had to remember the correct note and sing that note to get everyone started off. It was challenging to do. Doesn't mean that I hated doing it though. No. It was challenging, yes. It was frightening, and it made me mortified, but in the end, I really enjoyed it because when I could get it right, that's kind of when the happiness kicked in. And you may have those first 2 criteria down, but this last one, in my opinion, is probably the most difficult part. That would be having the dedication to do it. Sure, you may have the physical instrument, and maybe you know stuff about music, but when you actually have the instrument with you and are ready to play it, you have to be dedicated enough to continue working at it to get better at the instrument. And that part does require a lot of dedication. Of course, this is something you could probably use in anyday life. You do have to have dedication for a lot of things you want to get good at. And if you want to get better at them or get good at them, if you want to get better at something, you need to have the dedication to finish it or to continue on with it. And that's what I say to a lot of my friends and to myself specifically. If you want to do something in life and you want to, make yourself known for it, you've got to do it and be dedicated to do it. That's, again, one of the most difficult things I can think of. And when it comes to instruments, maybe I don't have the proper dedication for them, but I still love them, and I do actually still have them. All this talk about instruments and dedication, and I haven't exactly shown them, so why didn't I go ahead and do that now, and maybe that's what I can close off the video with. Right here we have one of my lightweight ones. I got this one from my grandparents' house when we were cleaning it out. It was something. But this is a bamboo recorder that's in B flat, if I remember. It's either B or B flat. That might be what the little B right there is for. And right here, we have an instrument that you probably have never heard of, but it's one that's kind of fun. I think it goes under the name thumb piano, but it's also called a kalimba. Which, that kind of thing. I'm not really good at this one, but I love it. Video gamers would probably recognize this one immediately, but if you do not know what it is, it's called an ocarina. Or specifically, I think this one was called a 12-hole ocarina. Yeah, 12 holes. This one I am really not good at. It's kind of difficult to play, but let's see if I got this. I didn't go back in time there. That makes me kind of sad. But finally, one of my favorite ones out of all the instruments, I actually have a top 3 instruments that I like, is my harp. Thank you for watching my video though. If you like these videos, please give this video a like so that I know that I can make these videos more and that you actually enjoyed listening to me ramble on about random things. And also, if you haven't done it yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. That way I will be able to let you be notified of when I actually create my videos. And also right up there is a little playlist that I have for all my previous silly question videos. So go ahead and check those out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching.